Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your continued support. So Rachel Reeves did her speech at the Labour Party conference, and part of what she talked about was this new youth guarantee scheme, which has been going around for a little while now, but it kind of padded out a little bit here, although the money is something which I don't think has been completely clarified yet. But anyway, what she was considered, what their plans are, is that they're going to introduce this youth guarantee, which means that for people who, between a certain age, I think it's up to 22, if you are not in work, education, or training, then you will be offered placements. And I think these are typically going to be hospitality, trade placements, things like this. And if after 18 months you don't get any of these, or you're not offered a place in one of these things, then you're given a guaranteed work placement. Now, they're saying that this is to obviously get young people back into work, or get them into work. They're saying, there's more young people out of work now than there were before and on benefits, and they want to change that. And there's talk about, if you don't go for one of these placements, or if you don't accept the placements, then there's going to be sanctions, which I would imagine would be cutting the benefits. Now, this is, if you are a young person and you can't find a job, and you're looking for work, you can't find it, or if the idea of work is something which you can't quite get certified yet. Now, if you are a young person and you've been looking to get a job and you can't get one, or you've been looking to get an apprenticeship and you can't get one, then this could be a very big help for you. This could be something which would help you get onto the ladder and maybe start a career in whatever area you want to go into. But I have a couple of concerns about this. Now, I was part of the YTS scheme, the youth training scheme, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. It was 80s, 90s. And I actually had not a very good experience with it. Now, obviously, there may be some people out there who had a very positive experience. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. I didn't really have such a good experience with it. I think I was getting like £20 a week at the time, and I was working in a shop with a couple of people, and I carried on there on the youth training scheme until I was too old to do it anymore. And when I got too old to do it, the owners of the shop said, well, we can't keep you on because we're no longer getting funding for this youth training scheme. So I moved on. I did another job, which are completely unrelated to the job I was doing before. And I ended up going from, what would it be, £80 a week, £80 a month. I was getting £400 a month in a new job that I found. It was completely unrelated. So you can see there, even at that time, the difference in money that I was getting on the youth training scheme compared to a regular job. That's my concern. One of my concerns in this situation is this going to be just cheap labour? Now, I would hope that they would get at least minimum wage. The government has said they're going to subsidise businesses for taking young people on. But again, what's going to happen if they go onto this youth guarantee scheme and then they get to the end of it? What's going to happen then? Is this going to be the companies, are they going to say, well, now we're not getting help to employ you, now we're not getting money to employ you, we don't want you anymore, you can go. Are these young people going to be exploited is another thing I'm thinking of. Is this just going to be a youth exploitation scheme rather than youth guarantee scheme? My other concern is how this might affect someone who has disabilities or problems with their mental health, physical health, because there are plans obviously to cut benefits for those under 22, so you can't get it until you're 22 years old. And my concern is that how are you going to, are you going to make everyone do this, everyone under the age of 22, or is this just going to be people who are not physically or mentally disabled? The Mind charity has actually written a letter to the government saying that they believe that if this is going to be targeted at people, for example, who are off with mental health problems, or young people with mental health problems, they have argued that maybe this should be actually prioritised before they give them a job. That their mental health should be prioritised first, and if you want to get young people back into work who have problems with their mental health, then maybe you should be investing in mental health things rather than trying to just get them back into work. And I think there's a good point there. And I think the same would apply to someone with a physical disability. If they have, if they want to work, then I think there's got to be the opportunities there for them. But is there going to be support there for them on a scheme such as this? Are they going to get help from something like access to work? Are they going to get adaptations in this youth guarantee scheme, or are they just going to be plunged into this job without any kind of help and made to stick to it, otherwise they're going to get sanctioned? Those are my concerns, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, what you think about this. Do you think that this is a good idea? Do you think that this will help get more young people into work, or do you think this is a little bit of a youth exploitation scheme going on here? Let me know down in the comment section what you think. Please do subscribe if you've got this far, and I'll see you next time.